Get this shit started. So, first off, we made like 700, 800 today. Um, that'll be in the trade recap. Not really happy about that. That's a whole nother story. But okay, so let's look at long term because I said I'd be doing some long term stock shit. So let's do that. So, you know, we've been investing. How loud is this shit? It's kind of too loud. So we've been investing at about 50% 6 month returns. So semi annual returns. So let's get that out of the way. We do this shit. We know what we're fucking doing. So let's get that right out of the fucking water right now. So in the last goddamn week, we're down 9%. Last day, we lost 4% today of our portfolio. Last month, 4%. This is the first red month I've had all fucking year. And who's to blame for that? Fucking idiots like this who want to fucking short market and fucking FOMO trade and just jump on the bandwagon. So, first off, let's look at this shit. Why did the dot-com bubble burst? Why did it burst? Because idiots, middle-aged men and women, were deciding, oh, I'm going to get rich off of penny stocks. Oh, I'm going to get rich off of this stock that has no earnings reported. Oh, just because it has a website, it's a company with a website, there's no earnings or financials reported, but I'm going to invest in this stock. Then what happens? The fucking bubble bursts because there's no financials. There's no financials or profits, revenue, any of that to back it up. So that's why .com bubble bursted. Why did Michael Burry, why did he make so much money? This is the big short guy. So why did he make so much money? How did Michael Burry? This literally a Google search away. Predict the big short. Okay, so this is really helpful to what I wanted to know. What, am I just going to have to go on ChatGPT? Either way. Okay, so there's debate over whether it was an anonymous tip, whatever, whether it was his actual position, whatever. We have that debate. I'm not even sure which one's confirmed. What is confirmed is there was actual statistics and facts to base it. If many people are missing their rent and can't afford what they're actually living in, and they're over leveraging their mortgages and shit, they can't pay for their mortgages, they don't have enough money for that, housing market's gonna crash. That's an acceptable position to make. That makes sense. So now, if we look at this shit, right here, blah, 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 yeah, he knows what he's doing, somewhat. He's making some money this year. So, if we look at this shit, quarter three, quarter two, whatever, this time presenting his most aggressive bearish stance on artificial intelligence stocks in history. $1.1 billion put. $1 billion put. He has on shorts. 80% of his goddamn portfolio he has invested in goddamn shorts against AI. So I think it's 900 million against Palantir, 200 million against Nvidia. I'll give him his cookies. Maybe he is a good investor. This is the most idiotic decision I've ever seen made in my history of long-term trading, which I started when I was like 14, and day trading, all of that. This is the most idiotic goddamn fucking position size I've ever seen. 80% concentration? That's ridiculous. You don't bet that shit unless it's something that's guaranteed. 80%? Are you fucking kidding me? That's over leveraging at its finest. So let's get that right out of there. And then Palantir. This is the definition. This is the definition of a goddamn panic sell if I've ever seen it. Like, I do this shit. I'm holding my portfolio. I'm not selling jack shit. I'm not slimming my position, nothing. I'm holding my entire goddamn portfolio. What am I invested in? Google, Apple, Laharis Technologies, UiPath, Broadcom, Meta, SPDR, S&P 500, Symbiotic, Supermicrocomputer, Tesla, Nvidia, SoFi, Palantir. This isn't financial advice, so don't even think of it as that, because I can't say it's financial advice or I'm gonna get fucked because I'm not a registered financial advisor because I'm not fucking 18. So let's get that right out of the way. So why is this so idiotic? For a bubble to exist, it has to be built on false infrastructure. You know, a bubble made out of fucking steel that isn't a bubble, that's a sphere. A bubble made out of fucking bubble blowing solution, soap, water, that's a fucking bubble. It's easy to pop. Like, we are assuming Palantir and Nvidia are gonna go down just because they went up that much. That is the basis of all of this. Like, looking at my portfolio right now, that's the basis of all of these shorts. Like, if we really fucking analyze this shit here. Like, I started this portfolio, the specific portfolio of mine that's AI based. I started this around like the mid-year point of this year. And I'm still, after this crash, I'm still up like 40% on Nvidia alone. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing? Literally, all of this is positive news. I'm scrolling so far to see negative news here. Literally, I can't find. I have to refresh my feed to find any negative news. Literally, the only negative news behind Nvidia is panic sellers who are trying to fucking sell against it. So A, that's just an idiotic thing. After briefly holding Nvidia calls in quarter one, has established a substantial put position against the AI chipmaker that suggests he believes Nvidia's valuation has become disconnected from fundamentals despite its earnings growth. So, if its earnings growth is on par with its goddamn stock price, regardless of all this shit, if it's like even the little bit on par with it, it's not a bubble. Nvidia's not a bubble. Nvidia, like, it's not some shit where we just fucking started going up this year. We went up like 20% this year. How the fuck has oh, I see. Because I bought in a good position. But anyways, so Nvidia, in total, it is up 470,000, 100%. And we think this shit's a bubble? Fucking, this stock fucking came out like 2000, which that might just be when it was able to be traded through this brokerage. Let's get that started first. It's been going up since 2008. It's been going up since before I was born. Let's get that shit straight. And then in recent years, obviously 2021, it really started to take off. And then ever since then, it's just been going up like a fucker. And we think that's a bubble. I'm going to get more coffee. I need that for this fucking shit. Holy. But yeah, like I was saying, I just got more coffee. Bubble my ass, bro. Fuck out of here. Now let's look at Palantir. This is my honey hole. I got in on this stock early as fuck. So, on the week we're down 12%, Palantir. On the day we're down 7% because of these fucking idiotic panic sellers. The month we're down 4%. The year we're up 213%. Fucking whatever. So the only bias of calling Palantir a bubble is because it's went up so high so quick. That's the only basis you can make on this. And then the panic sellers, like this fucker right here. AI valuations have reached bubble territory. Yeah, okay, you don't have to fucking rephrase this shit. I know this shit. Pfizer? No. I think this is a valid, I think this is a valid, not a great, not an abysmal decision. This is valid because we obviously, with COVID, after the valuation went up a shit ton because of COVID, it then came into a pullback. This is a very valid, like, idea. Do, do I think it'll go up drastically? After the fucking, um, without like a major disease outbreak? No. Do I think it'll return to normal levels? Sure. So this is valid. And this makes sense. This is energy. And the transition into cleaner energy. Halliburton, that makes sense. Valid. Lululemon, very popular clothing, that makes sense. Molina Healthcare, like once again, it makes sense. And this call makes sense. You know, that we're fucking investing in healthcare because of the correction from COVID. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is government funded, Medicaid focused. That shit's getting shut down. It's a government shutdown. Horrible position choice. You know, maybe for a few years, this is smart, but any swing trading, this is diabolical, to be honest. Student loans always, that's always going to be at least in America, that's always going to be a pretty valid position choice. So, you're investing 1% of your portfolio into something stable. That's just not smart. You want stability. If you're investing 1% of your portfolio in stability, that's not a stable portfolio. Let's be realistic here. So you might as well not even. But let's look into this really. The AI bubble thesis. AI is not a bubble. AI is the future of everything. Everything. This shit isn't a bubble, bro. Do you understand how many jobs AI is going to take? You're either making money off of AI or AI is going to replace you if you're not in a position where you're taking advantage of it. That's the truth. So get in on AI. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but not even just stocks. Figure out a way to make AI profitable for you and figure out a way to utilize AI or you will get replaced by AI. It's that simple. Any AI bubble thesis is incorrect in my opinion. Also, Palantir is the peak of AI and technology being integrated into the military. Let's get that straight. Every nation's gonna have a military. And then, in the same sense, AI is the fucking future, bro. I don't want to see this shit ever again. And then, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. That's cool. That doesn't matter. Back to basics, like, no, bro. Technology is the future. Why are we betting against technology? And then that makes sense, like using leverage in your position. If you know how to trade, that makes sense. But how? But I'm genuinely getting pissed off. As someone who's in market constantly, whether that's swing trading, long term investing, day trading, my life and my income is literally market. That's it. Like, yeah, I have my business or whatever, but it's fucking winter. Like, this shit just, like, Fucking fizzles me, to be honest. No. But do I think this is wise? Fuck no. And, like, it's just ridiculous. So, with that being said, these are the issues here. Panic sellers of AI because they see how much AI has drastically influenced us and they think it's going to be another bubble like the .com bubble. Really? Get the fuck out of here. B, do you understand the influx currently of fucking people that have no idea about stocks, investments, any of that? You know how many people like that are investing right now? Fucking shit ton. They're fucking up our markets. Take this shit back. This is ours. If you day trade, if you long term invest, if you do any of that, take this shit back. Like people who have money right now are just investing because they have money and they want to see if they can make more. None of them actually know what the fuck they are doing for the most part. So that's literally it. It's just panic fucking sellers, people who think they're going to get lucky on it, and people who have no idea how to trade, trying to trade. That is the issues with market right now, and that's how we're going to end it. Take back our fucking market. Make people who know market fucking take control of this shit. Because you cannot be a trader just because you have money lying around. That's not how that shit works. Otherwise, I would have been the best trader ever while I was running my business. So I'm ending this. I'm fucking pissed, bro. But I'm ending this shit here.